If you're not sure of how to begin your renovation, go to Home Trust. Home Trust is Singapore's leading renovation platform that matches homeowners with trusted interior designers. On the main page, simply click the Get Recommendations feature and answer a few simple questions to get matched with reputable IDs. From there, you can check out their portfolios and take a look at their reviews. Did you know that Home Trust do not delete negative reviews? This is where Home Trust stands out, by providing the promise of trust and transparency to homeowners like ourselves. If you want to know more, make sure you visit their website at hometrust.sg. Hi everyone, today is time for yet another epic DIY adventure. You see those boxes that we are unloading? We are going to install a 4-meter wall-to-wall full-height wardrobe in our master bedroom. For many homeowners, wardrobes are often done using custom carpentry, and there's nothing wrong with that. For us, we felt that buying off the shelves allows us the flexibility of shifting your wardrobes when a need arises. And not to mention, it is also cheaper. I find that the only place in a house that really requires custom carpentry is the kitchen, because it is very unlikely that you will shift your kitchen cabinets around to another place during your stay. And by the way, do check out our previous videos on kitchen carpentry if you haven't done so. And with that, let's begin.
A few moments later.
And so, I have yet again underestimated the amount of time required to build this full-height wardrobe. Originally, I intended to finish it within one day, but I was so wrong. I've only finished just 1/4 of this full-height wardrobe. There's still the entire top shelves to build, and as well as this area over here. And this is how the room looks like currently, but it's okay. With a bit more determination, I believe I can finish this in hopefully just another 1 or 2 days. So this is the progress. Not very easy. It requires a lot of strength to carry all these wooden boards around. Okay, and so we will do another update again once this is completed.
Years later.
And so this is the entire 3.8 meter wardrobe, the full height wardrobe, and this is how it looks like after completion. So this entire project took me about 2.5 days. I think it is not too bad, right? So initially I went to ask for a quote, right, for the installation itself, and I was given quotes about $450, $500 to do this installation. So I thought, why not, let's just try by myself. Overall, the process is quite fun, although very, very tiring. All these planks, right, are actually quite heavy. So the difficult thing about this is that when you buy things from Taobao, especially for things that require installation, they don't really come with an installation manual. The best you can do is to ask your seller on tips on how to install. So what I received were only some pictures, and that was definitely not enough. So everything has to go by trial and error. You can see this entire wardrobe over here, right? There's a total of more than 100 different planks over here. So it takes some time to figure out which plank should go first at which direction. And the sequence also matters as well. So once I found out that at some point in time when I install certain stuff wrongly, I need to pluck it out, disassemble and redo again. And that is the most time consuming portion. And even things that you would think that is logical, right? For example, you can see that all these drawers, they are all of the same size. They are all symmetrical. So you would think that this drawer can be installed here, this drawer can be installed here, and it's all interchangeable, right? But the answer is no, right? There's actually a left drawer and right drawer. I only found out after I installed it halfway. You can see that this clearance belongs to the left side of the drawer, and there's a little gap over here. And the gap over here is slightly bigger. So if I install this drawer over on this side and swap this around, these two drawers will collide at the center. So that was quite tricky. And even everything itself, right? You need to figure out a sequence on which plank should go first. Definitely the bottom should start first, and as well as you build all the way to the top. It took a bit of trial and error, a little bit of common sense, but after a while I think the result is not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so in future I will try a way to hide this this top corner here. You can see it's not really a full height wardrobe yet, but what I have done is to cut out a 10 cm plank to hide this top corner. Okay, so I believe some of you will be quite interested on the price of this wardrobe. The price of this wardrobe is 1,500 Singapore dollars, and that is including shipping to Singapore. I believe the cost of material itself is about $1,300, and I paid about 200 over for shipping. Installation charges, if you were to hire someone, it will be around $400-500, but that is still better than custom carpentry. I'm not sure how much carpentry will be charged for this entire size of a 4-meter wardrobe, but I believe it is anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000. Okay, so this is something you can consider if you want to save a little bit of money and do a full height wardrobe and purchase it from Taobao.
A few moments later.
Alright. So after another few hours, you can see that we have already put some partition board on top of this top cabinet. So you can see a few join lines over here, another join line over here. So what we are going to do next is to use plaster to cover this up, and then we're going to paint over so that everything can become one consistent color. There's also another gap on the left side of this wardrobe as well, so we are going to fill that up as well. So stay tuned, and then we'll show you the final result of how it looks like. I think it's going to be good. See you in the next clip. Now here's the final look of our wardrobe installation. If I go closer, right, you can see that the piece of partition board on top has been plastered already. And after plastering, we also put a few coats of paint on top to match the colors of the door. However, there's still a bit of color difference if you were to look closely, but we decided to just leave it. And additionally, we also put some silicone on where the board meets the ceiling to make it look a little bit more seamless. So what do you think of this wardrobe? Does it look like custom carpentry? You can let me know in the comment section down below. I will also leave the link of the Taobao seller in the description below, and perhaps some of you can ask your carpenters how much they will charge for this amount of carpentry. Now, let's talk about designing your wardrobe compartments. For those of you going for custom carpentry, you have the opportunity to completely customize the wardrobe to suit your needs. That includes where you want to put your shirts and pants. For ladies, you can cater additional height for your long dresses. Some of you may also want some drawers for your accessories, your skincare and other stuff. So make sure that you speak with your ID or carpenter about how to utilize every single compartment. Now for those of you who are unsure, I'll use my wardrobe as an example for some general guidance. Let's divide the wardrobe into top, middle and bottom. The top compartment is normally out of reach, so that is an area to put stuff that you rarely need to use. This can be your bed sheets, extra pillows, etc. For the areas that you can reach, like the middle, hanging rods are the way to go. Hanging rods are also the most space-efficient ways to store clothes as compared to open shelves. And also, whenever you run out of space for your hanging rods, you can always still push your clothes to one side to squeeze a little bit more space in. Now let's talk about the bottom. In my previous video on carpentry, I mentioned that everything below the waist level should be drawers, and the same apply for wardrobes as well. With a drawer, one pull, and you have access to everything. You will not want to have casement doors where you will need to bend down and dig for items. So in summary, just have an open space for the top layer. For the middle, go for hanging rods. For the bottom layer, either go for hanging rods or drawers. It's hard to go wrong with this kind of design. For ourselves, we will be storing some luggages and gym equipment like dumbbells in this bottom right compartment. Otherwise, we will also have one with drawers to give it a more consistent look. In our previous video, when I talk about the design of your bedroom, I have some of you asking me, do you really need such a big wardrobe? Do you have that many clothes to store? So for the husbands out there, right, let me educate you on this one. What you can do is to go and check your wife or your girlfriend's current wardrobe and then multiply that by 2. I find that, right, for some reason, when the ladies get their own house, when they get their first house, right, all their items will also multiply by 2. And that includes all the clothes, all the skincare, all the handbags. And where do they put all these items, right? All inside the wardrobe. For the husbands out there, right? Just do it. And that's all for today's video. We are almost ready to move in already. We are just left with glassworks and a few smaller DIY projects. So if you enjoy our videos, do drop us a like, share and subscribe. And otherwise, we shall see you in the next video. Bye! Oh, and by the way, this is for the husband. This, and this is for the wife.